Hey everyone, it's Chris here from Everyday Survival Gear, and today I'm bringing you the review of, get this, a $2 flashlight. That cost me $2 US. Well, to be precise, $2.30 US, but we'll round it down to $2. It is the Skywolfeye 18650 zoomable flashlight. Look, it actually works too. It is fairly blue. Don't mind the light beam that's coming from the light behind me, because I've got to turn on like 45 lights in this house to get some light for the video. Yeah, so basically it cost me $2 US to buy this light. I bought it a few months ago. We'll take it apart and we'll take it outside and see how it does. The specs don't tell you too much when you buy it. The seller said it was a Cree XML T6. Obviously it's not. He also said, or they also said, I should say, it's got 3000 lumens. Obviously, you're not going to be 3000 lumens, but for about $2 US, you can't be expecting the world. It is 18650 based, so yeah. I'll show you guys around the light and what it does. We'll take it outside soon. Uses a single 18650. So I got my Rofus cell in there. Actually, this cell is quite large and it does fit in there fairly easy. Surprisingly, overall, the light is actually built pretty well. Now, I say that in a sense that it's built to a budget, obviously. It's not perfect, but it is built pretty good. The only reason why I wouldn't fully recommend buying this light is just because it's got no pill for the, it's got no shelf for the LED. That's the only issue with this light that I have. But I'm going to do another video where I mod this and we'll turn it into a sub $10 US light and we'll see what it can do. So, you know, the knurling's all nice. The body looks nice. It's actually a fairly nice looking light. I don't know if you guys will agree, but I quite like it. I think it looks pretty cool. It is lightweight. It is a zoomy. So there it is. It's a zoomy. Yeah. Like, overall, it's not bad. The build quality isn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. Actually, all the threads are cut well. They even came lubed. Not the best, but they did. All the knurling is good. There is a few little blemishes on the light itself. Nothing too major. So, first of all, does it work? Yes, it does work. So, that's on. Horrible blue tint. You can see the PWM there. I think in high mode, it won't have PWM. No PWM in high mode. So, that's pretty good. I'll show you around the light, even though I already took the tail cap off and I'll put it back on. So, that's the driver there. There's not even a spring on the driver's side because they had to cut down on cost. So, yeah. The tail cap is these horrible style tail caps. They are a pain in the ass to work with. But, they get the job done, I guess. So we take off the front, the head, which I tightened down really well. First of all, I'll show you guys, it's got an O-ring there for protection. And when the head is fully down, the O-ring doesn't sit that well on the light. You can see how it tucks under on this side, but this side it sticks out. Either the O-ring is a little bit worn out or they didn't mill that part properly. The light is super lightweight. So, it's not going to have the best heat sinking qualities, but meh. The lens is plastic, so you're not going to get a glass lens at this cost, at this price. So it is plastic. Doesn't really make a big difference because I got a SK98 or the SK68s, and that also had a plastic lens. It didn't have a glass lens, so doesn't really matter too much. Now, here's what I've done myself. I accidentally de-domed the LED. When I was trying to get out this plastic. Now, anyone that's had to try and remove these collars knows it's really hard, and that was my bad there. There is an O-ring here to help with water for when you're zooming up and down. So the O-ring's there. It also gives it a bit more feedback with the O-ring there. So LED wise, I can't tell what LED it is, to be honest. Some cheap no-name LED. The thing is with it that it's a pretty small size. It's probably about the same size as a Cree XRE, I would say, or a Q5, somewhere around about that size. You're not going to get 1,000 lumens out of this no matter what you do. We probably could pretty much increase the output straight away just by changing the leads to the LED, but considering it's got a horrible blue tint, nah. But I was actually surprised that it actually works. Now, driver is a pretty basic driver, what you find on these cheapo LEDs. You can see it's got all the resistors there, and it's got this. I looked up the model number, which I can't actually see right now. Even if we look into the camera, is it going to focus it? Nah, you guys can't see that. Let me turn it off, and I'll read out the model number on that part there. Alright, so that's done. That's a CX2859A. To be honest, to me it looks like a single channel FET, but then I could be wrong because this does actually have modes. It would have to have some sort of controller chip, I guess, or something to limit the current in the modes. Now, I'm not sure how that would work if that is a FET, because then there's no controller on here, so I'm not 100% sure. When I looked up the number, it gave me someone else that's pulled apart a light before and had the same query as me. There's no real specs on it, so either, yeah, I'm not sure what it does, but I'm pretty sure it is a single channel FET. If not, if you guys know, then leave your info in the comments. So the board number is CX311703. I can't even read that. I think I'm getting too old. See? Yeah. So yeah, very basic driver. It does have 3 modes. It starts on low mode always. Then it goes to a blinky mode. Then it goes to high mode. The LED, there's no point in really showing you guys, but I can maybe pull this out if I can get it back out. This part sits in here so tight that when I tried to pull it off, I de-domed the LED. I'll try and get it out and show you guys. Alright, so I took that collar out. I'll show you guys what I mean, that there's no shelf. So when you look from the driver's side, I was astonished at this light. I thought, mad, it's got a shelf. I have found the winning number here. So it looks like it has a shelf, but it actually doesn't. So the LED moves that easy. There's nothing really in there holding it down. There is a tiny lip here where the LED sits on. That will kind of help it transfer heat, I guess. But there is no actual shelf for the LED to sit on, which is kind of a shame. That's the only thing that this light's missing. Like, to be honest, overall, for around about $2 US, I can't complain. Even if I was to keep this driver and then put in a new LED, you would still have a pretty good light that would be good, that would be capable of at least a few hundred lumens, maybe even 600-700 lumens max. So for under $10 US, you know, it's quite good. So that's why pretty much next step after this is I'm gonna put some sort of shelf in there, and I'll show you guys what I do, and I'll change the LED, and then we will compare it old to new. I kind of want to show you guys fully the whole way around and compare it to another light. So like, honestly, you can see the inside. These threads are very thick here. They actually work pretty well. Even though the pill is alloy, so it's not going to be the strongest. Alloy is a pretty weak metal overall. Well, at least comparing to steel. If you compare it to copper, then, you know, it's a little bit different. So that's back in there now. You know, you can see these threads here are pretty thin, but it's nothing to complain about, to be honest. It's not too bad, you know. Like, I can easily, in front of you guys, I can easily put this back on, and like so. I just wanted to show you guys the overall size compared to a S2 Plus. Then we'll put the tail cap on. You can see how easy that those threads go on. And you know what, to be honest, it's not such a bad looking light. So here we are now. You can see the O-ring. Got to tighten it down a little bit more. There we go. Alright, so with the zoom in or out, doesn't really matter. With the zoom out, it's pretty much the same size as the S2 Plus. Exactly. So there you go. You can see it's pretty much a little bit bigger just by the tiniest amount. But then when you put the zoom in, it's much smaller than a S2 Plus. You can see the difference in the knurlings here. You do get a bit of grip from this big cutouts here, but that's about it. So yeah, you even get a lanyard with it, but even the lanyard is kind of poor quality. I'm pretty sure the towel cap isn't actually glow in the dark. Is it? No, it's not. It's just green. Yeah, so even though I lied to you guys, said that we're about to go outside, I'll fix that O-ring and then we'll take it outside now. Alright guys, now we've got the Skywolfeye on. I know it looks a little bit lackluster to you, but you got to think it is a fairly wide beam, and this is low mode. Just wait till we turn it up a bit. So zoomable light, in, out, well actually that's in, and then that's out. If I show you on the back fence, you can kind of see the very dark blue edge. That's probably where I de-domed it, and a bit of the phosphorus layer came off. I don't know if it's brighter or less bright now, but yeah, you can see kind of like it does kind of heat up pretty quick, and the LED does kind of lose output, so not so good there. I'm pretty certain that you could actually gain a few lumens just from changing the LED wires, because they are fairly thin, about 30 gauge if not worse. So next up will be blinky mode, and we've got high mode. So you can see on high mode it actually puts out quite a decent amount of light. So even in my backyard, it's doing quite a good job lighting up my whole backyard. See, you can see how wide the beam is, and it actually lights up almost the whole backyard. So then we'll zoom in a little bit, and you can see it's got a decent amount of light. Now if I compare this to a light that I would buy over here, this cost me a whole $2 US, so almost 3 Australian dollars. I can't even buy one of those 9 LED lights, the ones that have the little cheapo 5mm LEDs. I can't even buy that for $3 here. So output wise, it is actually pretty cool that you can, although it's not perfect, buy a light for that cheap that puts out that much light. So if we go to 100 meters, it actually makes it. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see it, but I can see it there at 100 meters pretty easy actually. And then we go back to the yard. A few things that I forgot to tell you. It takes a 17 to 16 mil driver. When I measured it, it's actually 16 mils, but I've never seen a 16 mil driver in my life. So it's basically just a 17 mil driver that they shaved down. LED wise, also 16 mils. So if you were to make a shelf for it, which could also improve output slightly even with the stock LED, you would probably be making it about 16 mils in length. I actually brought out another cheap light out here to compare it to this light and to see how it does. Alright guys, so I had to think out the box here, and think of another light that was cheap. It's not quite as cheap as the Skywolfeye, but it's not too bad. This is the Hugsby XP1, so this is the one that has the 1AA battery. I believe I paid about $5 to $6 US for this light, so it's 3 times as much. So you can see quality wise with the tint, it is a little bit better tint obviously, but it's probably not as bright. So we put on the Skywolfeye to the left, and that's on high mode, and the Hugsby only has one mode. So you can see the Skywolfeye, even though it's zoomed in or out, it does put out a lot more light than the Hugsby XP1. We'll put on the Hugsby XP2 because that cost me around about the same price, and we'll see how they do to it compared to each other. Alright guys, now we've got the Hugsby XP2 on. These Hugsby lights I really like. So this is 2 AAA batteries. You can see it puts out a lot of light and a pretty nice tint actually. I quite like this tint. These go anywhere from about $5 to $6 US for a legit one, all the way up to, I've seen them $15-20 US, to be honest. Gearbest did have them before and bang good, but they were selling them at about $12 US. So we'll say the price I paid for this was about $7 to $8 US because I wanted a good source of them. So it's 4 times as much as the Skywolfeye. So Skywolfeye to the left and Hugsby XP2 to the right. So you can see output wise they're actually fairly similar now. It's pretty hard to tell, but they're very close, I guess. Yeah, I actually brought an S2 Plus out to show you guys, but I know there's not going to be any competition, and I've got about let me see, I've got about the S2 Plus itself costs about $10 plus the extra parts I put in, so it's about 16 $17 light. But we will compare them and see how they do. Alright guys, this is the S2 Plus on. Sorry I'm stuttering a bit, it's pretty cold out here. Yeah, high mode. We know it's going to blast the Skywolfeye, but oh well, might as well try. Skywolfeye to the left, S2 Plus to the right. So yeah, no competition there, of course not, but yeah. But you know what, like overall, like for about $2 what I pay for this light, it's actually quite surprising what you get. The body itself is really nice. Like it's a really well constructed light, and it's pretty well thought out. You kind of probably lose a bit of output because of the optics, but the optics also make it cheaper because then they don't have to build a reflector for it and put on the extra O-rings and whatnot, so that probably helps keep down the price. But overall, I'll do another video where I'll mod this and I'll give you the total cost, and it'll be, I reckon I can probably build a pretty good light, keep the same driver, just change the LED, put a shelf in, and I can probably keep it under $6, and we'll see what kind of output it gets then. Alright guys, this has been Chris from Everyday Survival Gear, bringing you the cheapest eBay light I could buy. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and like and subscribe, and thanks for watching guys.